Hey everybody, today we're going to take notes over similar polygons, okay? This is going to be the first part of your notes. This should be on the back of your ratio and proportions worksheet. So we're going to start with this, and then after that I'll walk you guys through what you need to do next. So first off, similar polygons are going to have the same shape. Oops, let me get my markers. The same shape, but different size. Okay? So polygons are similar of two things. Number one, the corresponding angles are congruent. So in similar polygons, the angles are all going to be the same. I'm just going to abbreviate because this thing's not the best to write on. Corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? And the second one is corresponding sides. Corresponding sides are proportional. Okay, so what that means is if I have a side that's let's say a side of 8, then a proportional side would say everything's times 2. So if one side was 8 and the other side was 12, then 2 on the other triangle would have to be 16 and 24. So that all three sides, or all four sides, whatever shape it is, all of them have to be proportional. Okay? So the ratio of corresponding sides is called the scale factor. This is going to be called the scale factor. All right, if the polygons are similar, then their perimeter is also going to be proportional. All right, so we'll get back to that in a little bit here too. Okay, so what is the scale factor of triangle ABC and DEF? Okay, so remember when we talked about this earlier, CPCTC. Okay, so corresponding parts of congruent triangles, but that's not necessarily true with similar triangles because not the sides aren't the same. Okay, but what is still important is look at the order of the letters. So if I talk about side AB, and I also need to talk about the side that goes with it, DE. Sorry, that's not B, D, E. Okay, so we're going to write different fractions about this. So we're going to use side AB. So the first one would be 8. Let me get my eraser real quick. So I have 8 over, so that was AB, which means it has to use the same one over here, which would be 8 over 12. So remember, whatever one comes first has to go on top. Since AB came first, then this one goes on top. Since this one's second, it goes on the bottom. Okay, so in our second one, we'll look at scale factor, DEF. So DEF came first. So I'm going to do 12 over 8 because AB comes second. Now, the one thing that we do need to do is, though, which I didn't do in the first one, is we need to simplify. So if I simplify this down, what number can go into both of them? Well, let's see, I can divide both of them by 4, and I get 3 over 2. Okay, so what is the ratio of the perimeter? So let's add up our perimeters. So I have 14 plus 10, which would give me 24, plus 8 would be 32. So that would be my bottom, because that was AB. And then I do my next one, which would be 21 plus 12, which give me what, 33 plus 15, 48. So I have 48 over 32. I set that equal to each other. We reduce that down. Let's see. Let's see, 16. Yeah, I divided both sides by 16, and you end up with 3 over 2. But look what happened here. Our scale factor and the perimeter are all the same. Okay, so that's a good sign. That means we've done it right. Okay, so our next part, similarity statements. So, similar is what we do. We've actually used the symbol before. You guys just don't notice it. Whenever we do congruent symbols, we always do the equal and then the top over the top. Well, the similar is just that squiggly line over the top. So that's just saying, hey, these two objects are similar. Okay, so we had, or in the triangles above, we had triangle A, B, C is similar to triangle D, E, F. Okay, so now let's apply some of these things that we've learned so far. Ooh, I go too far. Oh, here we go. So, list all the congruent angles and write a proportion that relates to the corresponding sides. So remember, in these proportional in these similar triangles, the angles all have to be the same. So if I have angle J, let's look at our triangles up here. Angle J is first, angle P is first. So angle P. Same thing, K is second, so angle K would be congruent to whatever angle is second, angle M. Then the last one, angle L is congruent or is equal to, I'm sorry, these should all be congruent. Is congruent to angle N. Now let's do our sides. Okay, so now this one's a little bit different. We're going to do our proportions. Okay, so I have side JK. Okay, so since that one's on top, the same side has to go on the bottom. So JK, so that one would be PM. So since this is similar, that means that any side that would be the same, or the similar sides, should all be the same ratio or the same scale factor. Okay, so the next one would be KL. So then for this one, so KL, the last two in the first one, then the last two over here would be MN. MN. And then we'll get the last one. So I would do LJ, which would be congruent, or which would be over NP. So all those scale factors should all be the same. All right, so I want you guys to try number 2 on your own. You guys can pause it. You guys can just keep watching and do it at the end. Okay, so I'm going to skip number 3 too. I want to let you guys do that one on your own as well. It's the same idea as before, okay? So now it's just 4 sides instead of 3 and 4 angles. Okay, so now we're going to get to solving similar figures with missing measures, okay? So if the figures below, we have a similar scale factor of 2 to 3. So they tell us a scale factor. So I know I'm going to have 2 over 3. Now, I need to find the value of x. Well, I'm assuming, this picture should tell you that, hey, 42 and x are of similar sides. So then I'll do the same thing. 42 over x. Then you're asking, Mr. Campbell, why did we put 42 on top? Well, just looking at these two similar figures, 42 is much smaller. So then I know that one would go on top. Okay, so from there, now we'll just solve it. So I'll cross multiply. I'll have 2x equals 42 times 3, which is 126. And then x equals 63. I'm going to let you guys do 5. It's worked out the exact same way as that one. 28 and x. So this one would be 6 over 5. And then think about which one's bigger, x or 28. Well, x is much bigger, so it goes on top. I'll let you guys do the math for that one. Now I'm going to help you guys do, let's see, probably 2 more. Okay, so number 6. If triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF, find the value of x. Okay, so now let's make one set. So I have AB and DE. Okay, so I know AB is x over DE, which is 25. Okay, so that's my first one. Next, we'll look at BC, which is 28. It has to go on top. Over, because the x's go with it. Over, let's see. Over, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Over 20, I'm sorry. Which would be EF, which is 20. And from there, we do the same thing. Cross multiply. So I have 20x equals, what is that? 20x equals 700. Divide by 20, we get x equals 35. Okay, so the last one. Now this one is where we have to remember our rules about solving proportions. Okay, so remember our 2 sides. So let's see, we have side XD here. So I know XD is here, so that means I have to use GM. So I have x plus 6 over GM, which is 36, equals, and then I have XK over GA. So XK would be x plus 3 over GK, I'm sorry, GM, no, I'm sorry, XKGA over 32. My apologies, guys. So now we just cross multiply. So I have 32 times x plus 6 equals 36 times x plus 3. Now remember, I'm not going to work this out because I'm writing too big and I don't have too much space. But remember what I have to do with this. We have to distribute our 32 and distribute our 30x. Okay, so we'll have 32x plus 108, I'm sorry, not 108, 192 equals 36x plus 109. 108. And then we solve it from there. So I want you guys to finish the rest of this one. And this is part 1 of your stuff. So from here, you guys will go on to finish the similar practice of the first page of the packet, which should be similar figures, more practice. And then once you get to the AA page, okay, we'll start doing proofs again with these. Once you guys stop, there's video part 2 up here. Okay, so you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys for part 2.